Hi, I'm Davina, and I'm recovering from complex post-traumatic stress disorder and narcissistic abuse, just like you. And today I would like to talk about the scapegoat and going no contact with your family. So, being the scapegoat means that basically you have been um, chosen unconsciously by the narcissist to be the garbage can of the family. In other words, everyone will be projecting their their own shame, their fears, their insecurities onto you. And this is really the only way that the narcissistic family unit can work. Um, they need that outlet in order to maintain their own stories that they're okay and um, that they don't have any issues to look at, and that so they don't have to look at their own their own stuff and their own backgrounds and their own pain. So you become just this convenient, kind of dumping ground. Um, for example, well, for me, it was like, it came more and more to my awareness that things that they were saying to me or was really just about them. For example, my sister would say, "You should be able to cope better." And I'm like, after a while, I thought, after I'd done a lot of healing work, I was like, I'm actually coping really well with life. I'm feeling my feelings. And then I realized, oh, she's actually, afraid of her own inability to cope with life. And it has nothing to do with me. And same with my father would tell me, that I should be able to stand on my own 2 feet. And he would say that called me a pauper, that I was, couldn't, just that I was, like a child and not, and I realized, oh, he's actually, this is about him. He's the one that's insecure about his own dependency, and the same goes for, my mother and my brother as well. And so, they can project onto you, or they can also play the kind of hero role where they think they're trying to save you. They become like your sibling might become like your psychologist and treat you like you're some charity case that you need to be fixed, or so again, so they become this codependent person trying to like rescue you, so that they can not look at their own stuff, because they just think, oh, well, she's the one with the mental problems and the addiction issues, and then they can go, well, I don't have any problems, right? So those are a couple of the ways that your parents and your immediate family members can treat you like the scapegoat, or I've also heard it called the what is that called? The identified patient. So you're the one with the mental issues and problems. You're the one that needs to be going to the psychologist and things like that. So they're just they basically get to point the finger at you so that they're not looking at themselves. So so for me, going no contact has just absolutely, my healing went like I just started to be able to really dig down deep into some of the anger and the grief and all that stuff. So it really elevated me to a whole new level. And I know for me, that would not have been possible without going no contact with all of my family members. Because staying in that meant meant like just going along with their denial, like, oh yeah, there's no problem in our family, it's all okay, and let's all just keep pretending that it's all fine, and that, yeah, nobody has any feelings, and we'll just talk about superficial things. And that's what it was like. It was just fake, 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 superficial stuff all the time. um, and I got to the point, like, COVID, we were going through COVID, and my family's still like, just like, whoa, not even like, I was going through grief and frustration and all these things. And they wanted to talk about like toilet paper or something. I was like, what? So, yeah, I feel like going no contact is absolutely necessary for the scapegoat, and that's your choice. So I'm just telling you my experience, my point of view. But what I compare it to is kind of like the analogy I have is like this idea of a broken arm. And so, if your parents in your childhood, it's like every day, their emotional abuse, their neglect is like a punch in the arm. And so maybe some days it's like one punch in the arm, maybe some days it's two or three, and maybe some days it's several punches in the arm, right? And so over time, this is the trauma that starts building up. And then you have, a broken arm, or in real terms, I guess, like a broken heart, a broken spirit, because you've completely lost yourself after years and years of abuse. And so, yeah, I think like if someone were hurting you, hurting your arm, and in order to heal, you would need to get away from that person, because how could you possibly heal your broken arm if every time you saw them, they were punching you in the arm? It would just be re-injuring that arm, and that arm would not be able to heal. And I've heard too, some people say, well, I just got to do my healing work and then I can go back and talk to my family. But for me, that makes no sense at all either, because again, it's like, yeah, if someone is doing things that are going to be hurtful for you, yeah, to go back to that again is like, oh wow, I finally healed my arm. Let's go back to my family so they can punch it again. And like, no. So healing for me is like, yeah, that's the image I like to have, is like, for me to remain healed, I need to stay away from people who are going to be hurtful to me, or for me, and from my perspective, act in hurtful ways, because everyone is different, right? So I think that's something you might want to just kind of keep in mind. And yeah, I mean, going no contact is a really, really big step. So if you're not there yet, don't push it, okay? Because it can cause you, I'm sure, a tremendous amount of anxiety. So you'll do that when you're ready. And for me, it was just a matter of, I had already left my husband, so that sort of prepared me and allowed me to, become stronger and stronger and stronger. And the more, it was just a matter of just loving myself, listening deeply to myself, setting those boundaries, in my everyday life, with my friends, with my employers, with, um, people around me. And then I just got to a point where I was like, I don't want to be around, these people that I called family members. Like, I have nothing in common with them. We don't have we don't really have a lot of similarities in the way we think, in the way we want to live our lives. It's just, yeah, I have no desire to have them in my life. So yeah, they're not of benefit to me. They're not going to help me grow and evolve further, right? They're going to be dragging me down, and that's not what I want anymore. So yeah, it's really just a matter of, once you feel what it's like to really be loved by yourself, then you will naturally just not want to be, it'll just be like ick, like ugh, right? I don't want to be, I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want to be in that relationship anymore. So it'll just come to you naturally, as you heal and feel the pain. Um, and two of the big things that can come up are fear and guilt. Those are two huge things that come up when we start thinking about these things of setting big boundaries or going no contact. And so the fear, I think one of the deepest fears that we have is that um, as children we believed that, and we believed correctly, that my survival depends on these people. My survival depends on my parents. And so if we were never taught, how to be independent, like be able to feel our feelings and make choices and set boundaries, and if we were never taught how to do these things, then of course we remain sort of dependent on our parents. And so we never really truly individuate. We never go through that process of becoming our own person because our parents didn't allow us our autonomy and our independence. And so we can still feel like that child that is dependent on the parents, even if we're in our 30s or 40s. So it can be terrifying to let go of these family relationships. So again, it's just a matter of number one, like kind of really building your own self-trust and just taking those baby steps into your own independence and knowing who you are and how you want to live your life. And for me, it's also been getting in touch with God, or whatever you want to call that, that higher power, the divinity. When I really realized that that I'm taken care of by God, that God has been providing for me my whole life. My parents gave me like a physical body, but I'm a spirit. I'm a spirit of God, and so God is living through me, and so when I'm living according to my truth and when I'm being loyal to God, then everything just sort of falls into place. And that brings me to the other thing that really stands in our way is the guilt. And we feel terribly guilty when we stand up for ourselves and when we start saying no, that's not okay. Because we were so brainwashed to think that our needs didn't matter, that our needs were kind of disgusting or ridiculous, or just pathetic to have needs. So we were really shamed and guilted when we tried to express some need that we had. So we can have this real sense of like, I need to be loyal to my family. I can't not go to visit them this holiday. I have to go visit them. They're expecting me to be there, and I'm a member of the family, and I have to go, even though I hate it. And so be gentle with yourself, because it takes time to get out of this brainwashing and deep conditioning. But again, you can think of like, do I want to be loyal to my family, or do I want to be loyal to myself? Do I want to be loyal to my own truth, to what I believe, and to what I need, right? If I need peace and quiet and a spacious place for my holiday where I can rest and do things that are enjoyable for myself. You know, I don't want to put myself into situations that that aren't going to meet those needs. You know, I want to feel connected, and I want to feel, you know, good about myself. So yeah, yeah. So be loyal to yourself. Be loyal to God. You know, when you start listening to that deeper inner wisdom, deeper truth about yourself, um, then it'll just become, again, naturally apparent that who you need to really be loyal to is to that higher part of yourself. And yeah, you are a free person. You're allowed to live by your own rules. And when you realize that you've been living according to your dysfunctional family's rules, you think, whoa, whoa, yeah, no, I don't have to live that way. They can continue to live that way if they want. And, you know, let them go with, you know, in the beginning, just let them go. Just detach in whatever way you can, even if it's not detaching with love. Just yeah, just get yourself to a place of being free from that, those kind of unhealthy behaviors. And yeah, relationships are not obligations, and you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do, that doesn't feel right for you, that isn't in your best interest. And yeah, they you know, they may try their little Hoover maneuvers to try and still get into your life and try opening that door. And I realized that even when that door opens just a centimeter or millimeter, I can feel that, like that ick sensation. That's what I kind of call it. The like the inner cringe. Is more than a cringe, though. It's a real like, ugh, right? Now that you know, now that I'm really connected to myself and my feelings more and more. So yeah, I hope this is somehow helpful for you, and maybe just validating for you, because I know when I went through this, I just needed tons and tons of validation, because like, well, maybe this is all just in my head. Maybe this is, I'm imagining this, like I'm a scapegoat. What? No, this, you know, maybe I'm just like really just blowing this, like, but no, you're really not. Yeah, if you are highly sensitive and you sense that everyone around you is kind of like looking down on you, um, you're, you know, trust that intuition that you have. And yeah, just keep trusting yourself. And yeah, so I am wishing you many, many, many blessings on your journey of awakening, healing, recovering. And I am Davina Shemaya at Boldness Blooming. Thank you for watching.